And hello to all my Pisces friends, I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for January 2023. Now today they've dialed up something very specific, very special for my great Pisces. They want to talk about finances and money. Starting January off with some financial pushes here in the right direction, hopefully. Now we're going to discuss this in the storyline format. It's a great spread for general readings because it'll cast a very wide net across the entire sign of Pisces. We're going to be telling 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 different stories for different Pisces in different financial situations. So we're going to find your story in here. There may be multiple stories that do resonate with you. Sometimes that does occur, but at the end of the day, and that's fine, but at the end of the day, it's all about finding that one that is a home run for you. And we're going to do that right now. Actually, we're going to wrap up your reading with a runestone and also conclude with an angel protection card. That's just going to give us a little extra push, a little oomph in the right direction here, a little extra information for my great Pisces. So we're going to get started right now, guys. A lot to talk about, lots to do. The cards are already shuffled. I'm going to bring you in right now in my overhead view so you can watch. I like to share the table with you and show you what's going on. Here we go. Camera turned off on me. Okay, we're back. So we are live and recording in Pisces. These are my ritual cuts. Basically, we're cutting each deck into thirds, put them back together in a separate order, and that satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot, and then the cards are ready to roll, ready to go. Now, the storyline spread starts with 5 cards. They are your core cards, and then I expand out from there where I need to, but this is the most important part if this is all you watch. Here is your 5. Couple inverted, no big deal. The distribution's good. And that's actually going to cap us off. That's the end of our spread. The reason I know that is because this owl right here is facing this way. So it's going to bracket it off like this. And that's basically Spirit saying, hey, Scott, we're good. Full stop. You're good to go. Let's do it. So here we go. So now the inverts are good like we just mentioned. Now I got to get facings together. These are going to go like this like this, and just like this. So we got 3 stories here. That's going to be a standalone short one. So let me get some more information. And in case this does go off the camera a little bit, I will move the camera around so you guys can see everything, what's going on. That's not a person, that's letting me know that. Down here with the Hermit, that's a major arcana card. We get 2 to describe that. We got another person card. Is that a person? They say nope, or oh yes it is actually, it's a Knight. So there we go, Knight under King. That stays like that. And then over here, we have the Strength card. Need to make some room for the Strength card. Attaching 2 cards to it. More information there. And that part is good. So now I just need to check the inverts one more time by individual story. I think the distribution's pretty good. And then over here, we got 3, 4. Okay, so here we are going to need a discard. Yes, because we're 4 out of 6. So we're going to see if Spirit wants us all upright or left alone. They want it left alone. So they're basically saying, hey, you're good to go. Let's do it. So the last thing that we need is oracle cards for every single story. Then we're good to go with your financial spread. And of course, getting it in view so you can see everything, just like I can. Okay, guys, I'm going to take this off of here just to make sure I get you so you can see everything. This is going to be story number 1, a shorter story. We're going to come, let's go over here for story 2. And then story number 3 is going to be this clutter basket right here. That's the biggest one, so we're going to wrap up with the big financial story. Lots to talk about, guys. Let's get to work. All right, Pisces. Clearing this off. That's for later. Story number 1, guys. They talk about, what they're really attaching to here on story number 1. If this, figuring out which story is for you here, story number 1 talks about being really kind of tied down right now financially. If finances are really tight, you could very well be with me here in story number 1, but there's more information to be had here. Despite the fact that you're tied down, they show in this deck specifically that you can bloom anyway. It's okay that you don't have a lot to work with right now. The economy is not the greatest. Inflation is, soaring to 40-year record highs, and the whole bit. So, a lot of people are struggling and things are difficult, especially financially here, but they say that you can bloom anyway. So you can survive on very little. It's little things that count, and a lot of those are free. They don't cost a thing, right? So they're letting you know that despite the fact that you're tied down, maybe on a tight budget, low income, something like that, it's okay. You're going to get through it. You can make your way through it anyway. And what we show next here are small setbacks, and sometimes this happens in the workplace too. So it's just like, it's January is not the time that it's going to improve. So that's pertinent, very important information, because it lets you know not to overspend in January, especially if you've been struggling already. Hey, you know what? There's no better time to get good at saving than right now, especially if you're in this situation. So a small setback at work, what could that be? Well, it could be cutting hours, less pay, less work, more days off, they don't got enough work for you, or, depending on what you do, of course, any variety in there. In a general reading, it's hard to pinpoint this kind of stuff. So they also bring up building blocks here. So they're letting you know that the whole goal here is to build and to accumulate. So that we go back to saving even more. So you can really kind of see the psychic tag and work there. So building blocks is really about, it doesn't matter how slow or how fast that you build, as long as you build. Okay, so just put a little bit away here, a little bit away here. Do your best to, make do with very little so you can stack more away, and you're building for something better. You're building for something greater down the road. Okay, so very important there for story 1. Let's get into story 2, guys. Story 2, finances, talk about the strength card first. That's what we're attaching to. So very strong, courageous financial pulls going on here. If you're with me in story 2, they show that there's more freedom going on too. So I'm assuming that's financial freedom. Of course, it could mean other things for different people, but we have the break free of some stuff that used to hold you down, kind of like what story 1 started with. And now we're getting into story 2, which is people that have maybe been through similar things, but now, you know what? That sun has come out. We're getting a little bit clearer skies, a little bit more financial freedom, something like that. Now, when the strength card comes up, they do basically say that you have the tools. You've learned everything you need to learn. You have everything you need to move forward financially with the lessons, with your future, really. And basically, the only thing that you're staring at is a little bit of circumstantial stuff. Okay, so this is, Spirit calls this bad luck. This is my wheel, the Wheel of Fortune or wheel card inverted, which basically turns good luck to bad luck. So this is just something that is not your fault. It's not anybody's fault, really. It's just, it is what it is. It's just something you got to do. It's like maybe something unexpected financially. You got a flat tire, and now you got to pay for a brand new tire. We weren't expecting to, drop $150 on that, but here it is. What are you going to do? You going to drive around on 3 tires? No, of course not. So that's kind of showing you that it's not your fault. It's just a circumstantial thing here in story 2 that can happen in January. And, we end up with nostalgia and with children. So children are a big focus here in story number 2, financially. Maybe people putting money into the kids, buying them dance class, Boy Scouts, get them involved in things. Their finances are being moved with the children. We have good energy, and Spirit is kind of pushing that as a good thing. Okay, especially those of you with 2 children. I have 2 little rabbits that appear in this deck that they wanted me to use for you, so a push on the 2 children especially. But, it can be more than that. I always wondered, too, what if you got 8 kids? There's no card in tarot that shows that. So we're talking about multiple kids more than likely. And the other definition of that card can be nostalgia, too. So go back to what worked for you financially in the past, or maybe even spending money on something in the past. The example I can give you here is my sister bought a Super Nintendo because she used to love a couple games on Super Nintendo, the old system, and in that same way that this is what brought her happiness in the past, and now she's bringing it into her current present day. The same way nostalgia can work for you. And sometimes it's the little things that count. Going to an old restaurant that hasn't changed in 30 years, something that you really enjoyed as a child, or anything along the line, really. So they bring up go the distance too. So they're letting you know, if you're here with me in story 2, that this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. This is not just going to get better one day and just stay better forever. It's going to be a fight. You have to do your part. You have to show up. You have to put in the groundwork and probably work a little hard toward these things, toward your goals. And you're going to get there. As long as you just stay to the course, you stay to your goals, you stick to the script, you are going to get there. You got to take it a day at a time. The marathon runner, he never worries about, a few miles down the road. He's worried about his step, and then the next step, and then the next step. Because if you don't, guess what? You step on something, you step on a crack, you hit a bump, you fall. All kinds of bad things are going to happen if you're not watching your present step. So that is very important here in story number 2 for your financial steps as well. Before we get into story 3, which is your big one, guys, I need to cut away and tell you about these moon cycles and the brand new products in the store. All kinds of new exciting stuff, and the moon cycles have never been bigger than these next 2 months. Okay guys, it is moon cycle forecast time. Let's talk about those moon cycles because we have the most lunar activity now, January and February until August, guys. So these 2 months are going to be huge. Let's talk about January. The first thing that comes in January is on January 6th. This is going to be a micro full moon. It's called the wolf moon because it's the first full moon of the year of 2023. And the full moon is the best time to get anything out of your life that doesn't fit there, that you don't want there in general. Hey, you just got to get it out. It doesn't matter what it is. The universe doesn't care. You know, we've done very specific spreads this month, and it doesn't matter if it's something we've talked about or not. Let's say it's something, for some of you it's people. You got to get people out of your life. For some of you, you got to sell something. You got to repurpose something to get it out of your life. Emotional baggage, stress, anxiety. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's something that's got to go and be removed from your life, let's say certain eating habits, you know, the whole bit. It's full moon energy, guys, and the best time to do that is the first week of January. This is very much, New Year's resolution stuff is when you do new things. Well, actually, the way that the moon cycles line up, that's not the case. It's actually the best at the beginning of the new year to get rid of something out of your life with that full moon energy. Now, adversely, and what does micro mean? Micro just means that it's small in the sky, so it's smaller visibly than normal. And, does that mean that it doesn't work as well? No, not really. I mean, you can still get it done. It's, the energy is lightened a little bit. But let's talk about that new moon because that's the opposite. That we have another super new moon coming in January. We just had one in December. We're going to have another one in February. And right now in January, the sky is going to be huge. It is the super new moon. It happens on January 21st. So, don't focus on the end of the month because that gets back into the full moon eking in from February. But let's call it the third week. The third week of January is the best time to bring actually anything brand new into your life. That New Year's resolution stuff, save it for week 3. I'm telling you, much better chance of getting it to stick and making it apply. And you can just use this new year between now and then as preparation time to get ready for these changes that you're trying to make. And what are you trying to bring new into your life? Well, like I said, the universe doesn't care. It doesn't matter what you use it for. You can use it to attract new love. You can use it to attract new finances. Do something new with work, something new with health. It doesn't matter. So if it's something new, the third week of January is going to be your target time for that, so please stick to that. It's going to help it just move a little smoother. And if any of this has confused you, I've put together a moon cycle cheat sheet. It is for free, and it is on my website. You can check that out anytime. It's on my videos tab. Go to the bottom there. You can see the moon cycle cheat sheet, and it shows you how these energies flow in and out and how best to align important decisions in your own life to them to make things go a little smoother. That's what it's all about, guys, while you're at the website. Make sure you're signed up for the newsletter program. That's at the sign up for that is at the very bottom of every single page, as well as follow the Facebook page because I do giveaways on there, as well as my newsletter people get giveaways as well. And I only send one newsletter email every single month. It's just for promo codes and updates, see what's going on. We're always doing new and fun things on the channel, on the site. And also, guys, now I need to tell you about the new product. Speaking of new fun things, I have my quadrants video. I only do these in January, guys, and this is releasing on January 3rd. If you're checking out this video after January 3rd, it's going to autoplay after your reading. But if not, you guys are going to have to check it out. But it's going to be available and posted everywhere, YouTube, Facebook, on my website, the whole bit. Check out your quadrants video. It forecasts the entire year for your sign. And we're looking at, what is the best quadrant? What is the best, quadrant is basically a circle that's broken into 4 parts. So this is your year. What quadrant, what quarter is the best for you for work, for health, for love? What is the best quadrant to take a vacation in? What is the best quadrant for you to be a little conservative? What's the best quadrant for you to get busy and take risks? All these things are going to be looked at in the quadrants video. You can get a sampling of that for yourself for the sign. And that's going to be available to everybody. But let's say you want quadrants done just for you. This is the first time I'm releasing this, guys, as a personal audio product. It is part of the mini product line, and this allows you great planning and preparation tools for the entire year. It's the only time I offer this, and it forecasts the entire year. So this is all about you, so it's extremely accurate. And looking at all these things, it's a huge drop of information, guys. It's the best, probably the best bang for your buck. Anytime I've done this for friends, for colleagues, for clients, they always say, if you only get one thing a year, this is like the best thing to do because it outlines everything that is important and relevant. So, and you guys get to check that out for free, a little sampling in the general reading. But if that's not good enough for you, you want something that's all about you, the Quadrants video is now available as a personal audio product on the website. And it's extremely affordable, best bang for your buck you can get. Speaking of new things on the website, guys, I got to tell you about the shop. We got Tiger's Eye gemstones going in on the shop, and I'm going to be flashing pictures up as I talk about it here. We got the standard golden Tiger's Eye. We got the red red flare tiger's eye. It's just red tiger's eye. I call it flare because it's so shiny. And then we got the blue tiger's eye, also very, very shiny, very deep dark blue. And they all kind of vibrate a little bit differently, but they're all kind of the same major themes. Tiger's eye is really good for negating any kind of negative energy, transmuting it basically, and it's also good for insight and seeing things very clearly, and a whole host of other things as far as medical reasons too, medical things that it really does to boost your body. So a whole host of different things. I'm not going to spend, we got to get back to your reading. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it, but the whole write-up is on the website, scottsagent.com. You can check out all three of them and the differences between each of them. And also available, I got a few keychains to go with them. There's a few individual products for keychains. And the best part about the whole thing is what it comes with. Any kind of gemstone purchase is going to come with a free little nylon drawstring bag, a little way to carry your gemstone. And also a little pendant, which is going to be a separate gemstone. Both of those are going to come for free. Okay, well, what if I just buy one gemstone? Do I still get that stuff for free? Yes, you do. You absolutely do. You get all of it with every purchase. Now, it's only one per month, guys, but you know what? Most people are only going to make one purchase a month anyway. So you're getting all this free stuff with any gemstone purchase, and you can read that right up online. It's a no-brainer, guys. Make sure you check out all three of those beautiful tiger's eyes. Now let's get back to your reading. Okay, Pisces, back with story number 3. The first thing that comes up for story 3 for attachment reasons is the need to put energy into the family, your close friends, your circle around you. Anything attached to your heart really comes in here. This is the Queen of Cups, so this is my emotional queen. And on an invert, it's basically saying it really needs the energy. The family really needs the money, needs the energy going into it right now. This is a financial spread, so that's why we relate it to money being used into the family. Now, they don't want you to go too crazy with this because they show next my 7 of Wands. This is my kind of defensive, let it play out in front of you card. Don't go on the charge. Don't go on the offense. You're playing defense right now. So let it happen in front of you. Get maybe zoomed out approach of what is going on, taking inventory of everything that you need to do for spending, and maybe in not just January, but the year. It makes me feel like budgeting. Also, making sure that the work influence here is taken care of as well. Because it being a wand is the work corner usually, and that can indicate too that there is some stuff going on that you need to defend yourself at work. Make sure you're getting their correct pay. Make sure they're not cheating you out of that $50 or that bonus or anything like that. Okay, so make sure that's on the up and up in January too. All right, so the next thing we have here is the Hermit card. It's on an invert, so it's basically saying no hermit. So no alone, basically with other people. So this is a time right here in January for you to not be alone, especially financially. Do your finances together with other people. It's a team effort. It's a group effort is really what they're showing here. Now there's another person that comes in. This is a king. He is upside down. Usually this is a masculine figure. It may be a very, very strong female as well, but usually in most current times, this is a biological male that they're referring to. And this is not you either. If you are a male Pisces tuning into this, they don't need to tell you this is you again. This is... They don't need to tell you it's you twice, long story short. So this is not just you, this is another man. And if you're a woman, it's the same thing. They're talking about a man in general because you're not the man. So they're talking about another man. So what is this man doing here? What's his purpose for? Who's to say? In the context of a general reading, I don't have you here to ask questions about what this could be and why they're talking about this. So you got to kind of figure that part out for yourself, fill in the outline there in between the lines. So, but they're bringing it up for a purpose. It's relevant. Now, why is this man upside down? Maybe they're not doing so good with money. Maybe they're not feeling something that you're doing. Maybe they're upset with you. Something like that. So it's on a delay. It's on a block, and it's on that basically if you imagine hanging upside down, it is probably not a very comfortable thing. So that's what they show that this man is kind of exuding the energy of. So despite the fact that maybe he's against something you want to do, you kind of want to pull this together and make it work anyway, okay? Especially if you're here with me in story 3. They show that the hanged up energy here with my Hanged Man card is starting to break. Okay, that's very good. So a lot of you in story 3, the finances have been kind of like routine. It's the same old thing. It's never getting over this hump. It's like, when are we going to break this energy? When are we going to start making more or whatever you're trying to do? Financial freedom, independence, and that whole bit. They also reinforce that with Never-Ending Story, my Oracle card. So it's saying like this feels like the never-ending story to you. Like this is just Groundhog Day. And here we go over and over again. And just like, when is the time going to be that this gets better, right? So that's what they show here happening in the Hangman card. Now, does that mean it happens in January? I'm not sure if it happens like full circle in January, but it's going to start to break. It's going to start to kind of unfold itself in front of you in January. Maybe February and March is when this hits full stream. We're not reading for those months, so I can't tell you specifically at this moment, but it's looking much better as far as, the stagnation is starting to turn. And they show that very clearly here. So very good wrap up there for story number 3. So you can see we got very different energies for all 3 of the stories there, different people, different places in your Pisces lives. Now we're going to grab a runestone, guys. Actually, angel card first. I did promise you an angel protection. I like to do that while I'm looking at all the cards. Okay, so they show a lot of people here, a lot of my Pisces really kind of starting something new with like a new life. It's my card for new life, but it doesn't mean you're starting a new life, but it's something new financially, a new endeavor, something you haven't done before. Maybe it's as simple as budgeting and planning for the year, or maybe it's something much greater. Maybe some of you are getting ready, putting money away for a business, getting ready to launch something like that, or just like we talked about the family dynamic too, doing something financially with the family. Maybe, you're putting money away for the car fund or for the college fund or something like that, right? So new life, they want you to pedestal yourself here, guys. Put yourself up on this pedestal, this financial pedestal. Get to a point where money is not like a major concern for you, where maybe you're not rich, but you know what? You got your nut, you got your peanut butter and jelly, your bread and butter, you got what you need. Your main things are covered, and the bills are paid, and you're good to go, right? So new life, guys. Really kind of set yourself up for this new life in January. The runestones are shuffled up. I'll give them one more swirl. And here we go. Runestone for Pisces for January. Gonna be this guy right here. This is the runestone of partnership. So that just kind of goes back into story 3. And we can probably jump in the other stories as well here. But partnership, working with other people, not isolating yourself, being out on an island all by yourself. Even if it's just like, let's say you're single and you live by yourself and you're doing all this kind of stuff alone. You know what? Partnership, friends. This can be friends and family members. You're not alone. Nobody's alone. We all have other people, and even if you absolutely don't have any other people and you're just a hermit living on the mountains, off the grid with nothing, you know what? You still have spirit. You still have spirit guides. You still have deceased loved ones, guardian angels, the whole bit. So partnership, guys. You're not alone here. Working together as a team. Remember, it is a team effort here. It's not you. It's not just you, okay? And we can kind of see that exuded in a couple of the stories. Well, they didn't really talk about it in one, but you can see kind of the undertones there. If that was you in story 1, you can see the need and the requirements for partnership and how that can benefit you. And partnership in story number 2, is showing that the tools are there to utilize this. So if that's something that you're wanting to do, move finances together with somebody else, work together toward a purpose, maybe a business like we mentioned earlier. Partnership, guys. January is the month for partnership, especially financially. And that wraps up what has been a very intriguing, very interesting spread reading here for January for my great Pisces. I want to thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future videos. That's it for me. Happy New Year. Have a great January.